Malibu with more on a tension-filled day at the beach. Rachel.
Micah, Share, after close to 8 hours, sheriff's deputies were able to breach the woman's home and take her into custody. We saw her. She was escorted into an ambulance and will be taken to the hospital before anything else. We've learned that she does own this home. She's a woman in her late 60s. Let's go ahead and show you some of our Sky 5 aerials from about an hour ago. The woman who was taken into custody is accused of shooting a bow and arrow at a couple walking their dog on the beach this morning. They were not hit. She then retreated into her home and refused to come out despite mediators and family members trying to convince her to surrender. Her home is the one strewn with trash on the porch and the beachfront. A sheriff's deputy told me she dumped a bunch of clothes and blankets and debris out of her home today. It's not clear why, but many are speculating this is related to a mental health crisis.
Evidently, there's a woman barricaded in a house, and she was shooting arrows at people at the beach, apparently unhappy about their walking their dogs and letting their dogs do their thing on the beach. Well, if I were on the beach, I would be disturbed. Now it's sort of a curiosity. I think anybody who has a bow and arrow that's willing to shoot it clearly has a mental health problem.
And it's not clear if the woman will face any charges. She's now being assessed, evaluated at the hospital. As you can probably tell, Malibu Road is back open tonight. That's the latest in Malibu. I'm Rachel Menitoff. Share, Micah, back to you.
All right, Rachel, thank you. Former LA Fire Chief Kristen Crowley has filed a legal claim against the city and Mayor Karen Bass, alleging defamation, retaliation, and negligence over her February firing in the wake of January's deadly Palisades fire. Crowley's legal team claims she was a victim of, quote, dishonesty and scapegoating that destroyed her 25-year career of public service. Crowley denies she refused to conduct an after-action report following the Palisades fire. She also denies sending firefighters home before the fire and denies failing to notify Mayor Bass in Ghana at the time of the major weather event. All claims Bass used to justify Crowley's firing. In a response to KTLA, Mayor Bass's office says we will not comment on an ongoing personnel claim. Mayor Bass is focused on the city's preparations for the hottest temperatures of the year and the potential for regional fire danger.
In Orange County, fire crews have stopped the forward progress on a 4-acre brush fire in the city of Laguna Niguel. Flames broke out around 3:26 p.m. near Alcott Place and Ridgeway Avenue. No structures were lost and no injuries reported. Within the last half hour, an evacuation order for Cops Hill Street was lifted and repopulation has occurred, though Cops Way remains closed to traffic.
Well, the heat is on. The most significant heat wave of the season is bringing dangerous conditions to Southern California. The LA Fire Department on high alert, deploying several firefighting resources ahead of the heat wave.
Residents also bracing for a potentially dangerous situation. KTLA's Kimberly Chang has the latest.
With days of significant heat expected, there is that concern of extreme fire behavior. Fire crews are keeping a close eye on places like Santa Clarita Valley.
This is the main area that we're concerned about due to the low fuel moisture.
Teams are spread out and prepared to move fast. Captain Sheila Kelleher-Burko is with LA County Fire.
As if something does pop up, the quicker they can get to the fire and keep that fire under 10 acres to 50 acres, the faster we can get our arms around it and it not be a major fire.
Additional resources from the state are also ready to go. The California Governor's Office of Emergency Services pre-deployed firefighting resources in LA County, including a total of 10 fire engines, 2 water tenders, 2 bulldozers, and a helicopter.
You'll see the strike teams that are out. So we have 2 that are staffed and pre-deployed. 1 is from Cal OES, and there's 5 engines, and they are up and ready to go for the next 3 days. So we have extra staffing there. The other one is LA County pre-deployed strike team. They're up and running as well.
The city of LA is also closely monitoring conditions and pre-deploying resources. This includes Crew 4, a new LAFD team trained to respond to wildfires. Officials are urging residents to remain vigilant.
You protect your property first, you know, your brush around your property, and you always make sure that's clean. You don't keep anything that can catch on fire, and just pray to God.
The fire captain says in these conditions, we should be careful to avoid open flames and anything that can cause a spark. Reporting in Santa Clarita, Kimberly Chang, KTLA 5 News.
Good reminders there. Let's go over to meteorologist Vera Jimenez for a look at the conditions and what to expect.
Definitely triple-digit temperatures if you are inland away from the coast. We do have some heat advisories, and we also have, of course, the extreme heat warnings, and that indicates that it is going to be dangerously hot. Even Palos Verdes here on the tip, which is also going to be hot. They also have a heat advisory. Other than that, it looks like if you are closer to the coast, you are going to be out of the danger zone. But even our beach communities are looking at temperatures that are going to be warm for them. We're looking at upper 70s and low 80s, so perhaps as much as 80, 81 degrees. As we take a look at the map, the pink indicates where we have the extreme heat warning. Those will be the hottest temperatures. Downtown Los Angeles also under that extreme heat warning. That's because numbers there will reach the low 90s. As we head further inland towards Lancaster and Palmdale, we're looking at numbers there in the triple digits, maybe as much as 104. And then, of course, the low desert is going to see the hottest temperatures with those numbers reaching 116, as much as 116. Let's go ahead and take a look at this map. This will show us the subtropical moisture that's going to make its way into Southern California. As we head into Saturday, some of this may not make it to the ground because the surface is so dry. But as we continue to move through the weekend into the early part of next week, as that air gets saturated with that subtropical moisture, we are going to see a much greater potential for those cells to actually materialize and get some rain at the bottom. With that, we also have the threat of some dry lightning because, again, the first few days, it is going to be unstable, but it is also going to be pretty dry. So the mechanism there will be the dry lightning, and hopefully we won't get that because that could spark a fire. We'll take a look at the rest of those details and numbers in a moment. Back to you guys for now.
Thank you, Vera. Extreme heat like this isn't just uncomfortable, it is dangerous. Doctors say the heat can have serious effects on the body's major organs, impacts that are not always reversible by just drinking water. That's especially true for seniors, young children, and anyone with chronic health issues.
Children, their body surface area is the way it is, and the amount of skin that they have compared to their organs is a large skin area. So the heat can affect them significantly more. Elderly are usually on a lot of medications, diuretics, other medications that can affect your body systems when you're exposed to heat. And so the threshold for getting symptoms and having bad outcomes are much lower than other people.
Health experts warn heat exhaustion and heat stroke can come on quickly. So if you're sweating a lot, feeling dizzy or nauseous or even confused, those are all signs that you might be overheating.
And as the heat bears down on Southern California, you can find the latest interactive forecast anytime at ktla.com/weather.
After 35 years behind bars, Eric Menendez will go before the state parole board tomorrow. The 54-year-old's remote hearing set to begin at 8:30 a.m. Brother Lyle will sit for his own hearing Friday. The brothers were resentenced in May from life without parole to 50 years to life for the 1989 shotgun murders of their parents 36 years ago today. That new sentence making them eligible for parole. Some family members support a release. In a statement, they say, in part, as always, our family remains cautiously optimistic, grounding ourselves in the reality that California's parole process is incredibly rigorous with low grant rates. For more than 35 years, they have shown sustained growth. They've taken full accountability. They express sincere remorse to our family to this day and have built a meaningful life defined by purpose and service.
Meanwhile, DA Nathan Hochman continues to speak out against release, saying in part the Menendez brothers have never fully accepted responsibility for the horrific murders of their parents, instead continuing to promote a false narrative of self-defense that